Good afternoon and welcome to our Namos Solutions webinar for Right People, Right Place, Right Time. We're focusing today on the hospitality industry, basically around the current state of the hospitality sector, why the hospitality sector is a career choice and a career that people should be following, and what support is there for them in that sector. And then handing over to my colleague from Oracle to talk around the role of technology in the hospitality sector, both internally and externally for both employees and consumers. So to kick off this webinar, introducing ourselves. So my name is Pete Gutteridge-Paye. I'm the Centre of Excellence Director at Namos, here to talk through the introduction to this webinar and just set the scene before I hand over to my colleague to talk through what Oracle can offer in the hospitality sector. But first, I'll hand over to Amy.
Hi, thanks, Pete. I'm Amy Jaggers. I'm a solution engineer with Oracle, focusing on human capital management. And I'm here today to show you how Oracle Cloud HCM can benefit all members of the hospitality industry.
Thanks, Amy. So just to start through the webinar, just to set the scene a little bit, I just want to talk really about the current state of the hospitality sector. So the industry itself, hospitality, is quite wide, going from hotels, restaurants, anything for at that personable service point of view. It's experienced a period of significant transformation and growth. And I just wanted to go through some key points just to set the scene around the industry. So I think the first bit that I wanted to call out after the last few years is the resilience that this sector has. So after a substantial challenge during COVID-19, the pandemic, and the recovery after that, with the hospitality industry and sector saw a lot of furloughs and people not able to do the jobs that they wanted to do. But showing remarkable resilience and transformation in the way that hospitality services have been provided to their customers. The market has now grown from $4.3 billion in 2022 to 4.6 in 2023, with projections to reach 5.8 by 2027. And I think that in itself shows a real resilience and bounce back from a quite horrible time for this industry during the pandemic. On top of that, there's technological integrations. This is playing a crucial part in the industry's recovery, but not only recovery, but evolution. So innovations such as artificial intelligence, contactless services, data analytics is not only helping guest experiences and public experiences to this industry, but also operational efficiency inside the sector to get the best out of their people and to add value to what they're providing to their customers. There's also their sustainability. So making sure that there is a growing emphasis on sustainability in this sector, not only to adapt eco-friendly practices and energy management systems, but also to make sure that the sector is aligned to the values of people who want to work there as well. So eco-friendly is in front of all of our minds, and to choose this sector, they are really pushing the sustainability and eco-friendly agenda in their area. One of the big challenges, not only from COVID and furloughs and getting back to some kind of normality, is the staffing shortages that the sector has faced. So lots of people went to other industries and didn't return. But to get across through that area, there has been a focus on increased wages and increased terms in some areas, which has improved the working conditions to attract and retain people into the industry. And I know when Amy gets into the section later on in the webinar, we'll be talking around not only attracting, but retaining and that succession of people in the industry to make sure that it's a place of choice. And not on this slide, but one thing that I just wanted to mention is the expanse of the sector. So the global mobility and expansion that the sector has, it continues to expand globally with new hotels, hospitality businesses, opening across regions. And the world was a very small place, but it's getting smaller and smaller with AI and other technological integrations that are helping the sector to grow. So in summary, for the current state, the sector's on a path of recovery and growth. It's driven by the technology, the change in consumer preferences, and focus on sustainability. But while the challenges remain around the resilience, adaptability, and the workforce challenges, from what I can see in my role and what I work with Oracle and ways of working, I do think that the resilience and adaptability of this sector has put it in a position well for the future. So just moving on to why the industry is a career of choice. So the hospitality industry offers numerous benefits. It's a sector that thrives on human interaction, creativity, the ability to create memorable experiences for guests and customers. And I've just highlighted a few reasons here why the hospitality industry is an excellent career choice. And what we'll then be talking through later on in the webinar is how the technology enables that to happen and to get people to the roles that they want to be and to get the industry to be ready for the future. So there are diverse opportunities in the sector, lots of different areas such as hotels, restaurants, event planning, travel and tourism, as well as the underpinning back office business function that needs to be created to make everything work. The diversity allows individuals to find their niche and pursue careers, but the systems will also then allow that to grow, for their passions and skills to be aligned, and for, as the webinar says, the right people, the right place at the right time. Global mobility. So hospitality professionals have the opportunity to work in different locations around the world. So gaining that valuable cultural experience, whether they remain in that place or return back to their home countries or relocate, all of that cultural experience expands their professional network and brings back into other areas what they're bringing back from there. Career growth, the industry offers numerous pathways for advancement. So there are so many things in one industry that people can move around. So career growth, but we also call it talent mobility. So from entry level to management roles or anything in between, there should be ample opportunity for career progression. And Oracle as a technological partner is best enabled to see where those skills are, where are people going with those skills, where are the gaps, etc. And I'm not going to pinch any of the highlights from Amy from later on, so I'm going to stop there. But also a dynamic work environment. So it is fast-paced. It is ever-evolving industry. It does take people with a passion to work in that industry. And lots of industries, people say no 2 days are the same. There's times when you work different shift patterns and rosters throughout the day, which means that you're free for family or doing other things when other people are working in the week, etc. And everybody finds their niche to be engaged and motivated in this industry. And then the final part of this introduction, before I hand over to Amy on the next slide, is just around the role of technology. So in this area, I just wanted to cover a few areas, which I'm sure Amy will cover in the second half of the webinar. But artificial intelligence is forever surrounding us and forever making the world easier and navigation easier to allow us to add value. But we're seeing chatbots, virtual assistants improving not only the guest experience, because that's what the industry serves, but also for workers and people working in there to make their jobs easier and to take away the repetitive tasks that are there and to go and find answers to things like generative AI and providing answers that we need. Contactless. So we see there on the bottom left that clients can get around hotels with their mobile and get into their rooms with their mobile. And in the middle, so employees can clock on and choose their shifts, etc., from their mobile. I know from Oracle as a technological partner and system, the whole point of the employee experience is that it's very much consumer-led It's intuitive, and it should be easy to use, and everybody can access it. And then just to the right hand side, a career of choice, being able to hire quickly, to be able to hire the right people. There is still a war on talent across the globe, with things need to be filled quickly in workforce strategy terms. Being able to find the right people, select them, and get their offers in quickly. And Oracle is adept at that through their offering. And then to the bottom, once people are in, it's also around that succession planning, my learning, my personal development, etc. So not only can the role of technology provide to the left of the screen the artificial intelligence and the contactless for both clients and employees, but also that consumer experience internally from Oracle. So that's my introduction into the webinar. Hopefully that was a quick taster into what Amy's now going to take us into. But Amy, I'll hand over to you.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it. So today I'm going to show you how Oracle Cloud HCM can support all members of your team, from Becca, who's working in HR, to Ben serving customers, and Matt managing an establishment, providing each of them with access to the information they need, when they need it, how they need it. So let's start and meet Becca. Becca's an HR professional working in head office. She previously worked at a hotel where she faced significant challenges with HR systems. They were poorly integrated, especially with payroll, and this led to inefficiencies and frustrations. Each month, she was locked out of the HR system during payroll processing, which prevented her from updating HR records. And this caused disruption to her work, hindered her ability to perform her duties efficiently, and caused unnecessary duplication of administration tasks. Becca became increasingly frustrated with the time spent on repetitive tasks and manual data entry, which took away from her ability to focus on strategic people management. She knew she had more to offer in terms of supporting managers and enhancing the people management function, but the limitations of the systems held her back. So let's see how life got better for Becca with Oracle Cloud HCM. Oracle Cloud HCM is a truly all-in-one solution that offers Becca and her HR colleagues everything they need. One natively designed comprehensive suite for the business that has everything needed to support HR, plus the managers and the employees too. One experience accessible where employees work, when they work, and how they work. One single data and security model on a scalable technology platform that allows users to seamlessly adopt different areas of the solution as their organizational needs change or as they grow. So for Becca, this means that when someone, maybe her, maybe a colleague, maybe a manager, makes the change to an employee record in Oracle Cloud HCM, her payroll team can see that change straight away. One system, no integrations, fully audited with employee data natively available where and when needed to run the business in a timely and efficient way. And because of the time savings and process efficiency savings Becca and her HR colleagues have gained using Oracle Cloud HCM, it means that Becca no longer spends her time on repetitive manual tasks and dual entry, but instead she can spend her time supporting the business with strategic people management, such as guiding the business through talent management and succession planning. Now it's time to meet Ben. Ben is a recent university graduate working as a customer-facing server in the hospitality industry. Whether as waiting staff, bartender, or receptionist, Ben enjoys the dynamic environment and social interactions with customers and colleagues. During university, Ben worked in a bar and found the fast-paced atmosphere energizing. Now, as he explores career possibilities, Ben is considering whether hospitality is the right path for him. With a desire to work in an industry where no 2 days are the same, Ben is seeking a role that offers diverse experiences whilst being part of a team that values hospitality as a long-term career. And he's driven to find a workplace that not only challenges him, but also fosters a strong sense of belonging. With Oracle's device agnostic design, it means that Ben can access his personal and professional data anytime, anywhere on his personal mobile phone. So ideal for somebody in hospitality who doesn't work Monday to Friday 9 till 5, which is when Becca and her HR team are available. And Ben is used to running his personal life on his mobile phone. So why should his work experience be any different? Oracle knows that no one person thinks the same, and what's intuitive to one person isn't necessarily intuitive to another. So there are a number of ways to navigate the system, but all resulting in the same outcome, information that he needs when he needs it. He can use tools such as the guided learning app, which will guide him through a process click by click. Or he can use the search options and quick links and application tasks to navigate around. He has access to a digital assistant or a chatbot, which provides access to commonly required information. Or he can search using text or voice to get the information he needs, such as how much he's going to be paid this week. He has access to tasks that are required of him in the things to finish section. And he has access to organisation news and announcements, all in the palm of his hand, keeping him updated no matter which brand or branch he's working in that week. And from his activity centre, he can access his one-stop shop of information about himself. Oracle's Journey functionality supports employees in navigating new or complex processes. All tasks required in the order that they're required, capturing information, linking to third-party systems, for example, a new employee ordering their uniform, and keeping the employee informed with video content and news and happenings. And as Pete mentioned, Oracle's web clock offering means that Ben can also clock in and out on his personal mobile phone. The web clock can include geolocation, meaning that he can only clock in when he's at work and not before. The ability to clock in and out on his mobile phone enables him to accurately capture his start time and his end time against his scheduled roster. So seamlessly passing the information to his manager for approval or straight to payroll for processing. And when Ben is ready to think about his next career move, for example, such as developing into management like his manager Matt did, he can access his talent profile from the mobile too. So whether he's enjoying a cuppa on his break or thinking about career progression at home, he can access the information he needs to guide the way along his development journey. And the opportunity marketplace is where new jobs and gigs, so those short-term projects and secondments, are advertised. And he can set himself alerts here for new opportunities that meet his development needs. He can see how the skills he has and the skills he's working towards map to potential jobs and gigs. And to keep him on track with his career development goals, he can use Oracle's performance module to regularly check in with his manager. Check-in functionality enables Ben to have regular feedback from his manager, Matt, on the performance and development goals he's working towards. He can get feedback here received from peers or other brand managers, and they can also review the competencies required from him in his current job. Each time they schedule a check-in, Ben or Matt can specify the topics to discuss using the agenda tool, making sure that each conversation is a valuable one and moving Ben closer to his development goals. And in order to develop, Ben wants to take advantage of the broad learning offerings he has access to. So whether Ben is taking a walk in the park or commuting to work by train, he has access to everything he needs on that mobile device, including his learning. And these access to this learning content and materials means that he can remain safe and compliant in the workplace, but also access learning resources and communities to support his career development. Finally, Ben has an opportunity to tell his team about himself, find others in the organisation with common interests in the connections module, which helps him to build his network and a sense of belonging. From the Activity Centre, Ben can easily access connections where he can update his personal profile to let others know what interests him and what skills and experience he brings to the team. He can also use tools such as the generative AI to support his profile. As we know, not everybody has the confidence to write about themselves. Think about those who have different languages as their first language, maybe people with neurodivergence or dyslexia. The AI can include people in processes where previously they would have seen barriers and not participated in providing more information about themselves and understanding more about their colleagues. So last but not least, let's meet Matt. Matt is a newly promoted manager in the hospitality industry. After working as a customer-facing staff member in a food and beverage establishment, Matt aimed at advancing into management. This was enabled by a supportive manager who helped Matt and encouraged him to develop opportunities to grow. Now, in his role as a manager, Matt wants to ensure that accurate information is presented to his employees and also provide himself with meaningful insights and information. This fosters an environment where new leaders can be developed for the future. As a manager, Matt has access to his team's information from his homepage. He doesn't need to log in as a different persona or into a different system. Everything he needs is easily accessible and controlled by role-based access. As a manager, he can see approval tasks such as approving holiday requests, and he can either take action directly from the notification or he can drill down into the details to see specific asks. As a manager, Matt also has access to high-level analytics on that homepage, providing him with insight into key people management processes such as employee performance and development. As we saw with Ben's personal activity centre, Matt has access to an activity centre too, but as a manager, that provides him with an overview of his team and actions that he can take as a manager with self-service. He has access to a summary of key information that he needs to keep an overview of the team's progress. He has things like this contextual journey, which provide in-time support for key processes and activities that maybe he doesn't do frequently, or in Matt's case, as a new manager, he's not had the experience in doing it before. So everything he needs when he needs it. And he has access to employment, compensation, and talent information for his team. It's easily navigated to get a total overview for the team, with the ability to take action on any individual directly from the team centre. But it isn't just the current team from here that Matt can access, but it's also his future team. So looking at requisitions and offers for new members of the team too. And if Matt wants to understand more about where his candidates are sat in the recruitment process, he can navigate to hiring, where he's presented with options such as the Recruitment Activity Centre. Now, to look at his active requisitions, Matt can review the list here in requisitions. And within the requisitions, he has AI-generated suggested candidates. So using the information that's held within the requisition and the AI technology within Oracle Cloud HCM, to look at those candidates that are within the recruitment database and those new ones that have applied, to provide him with suggested candidates to look at as a priority. So we saw with Matt that he had those high-level analytics on his homepage, and these tell him the as-is situation. But when he wants to work with Becca to plan for the future, he needs to rely on strategic analytics to guide the way. With strategic analytics, Matt has access to the workforce overall dashboard, which gives him oversight of the whole team and allows him to dig deeper into elements like competencies held across the team and where the gaps are between the here and now and what is needed for the future. So providing Matt with that holistic overview of the whole team and understanding where team development may need to occur in order for his team to be ready to face the needs of the future. So in Ben's demo today, you may have picked up on some real life views of Ben using the mobile in hospitality scenarios. And these clips were filmed at Oracle's Industry Labs in Reading, of which we would be very happy to bring prospective customers to and demonstrate our applications and technology offering for the hospitality industry. And if you want to know any more about how Namos and Oracle can support the hospitality industry, getting the right people in the right place at the right time, then please do get in touch. Now, while we have been hosting this presentation today, we've had the opportunity for some questions to come in. Sam, do we have those questions, please?
Yes, we have a few. So one of the first ones is, so with the change in with the new budget, there has been a change to the minimum wage. So how is that factored into the system, or can it be factored into the system, those changes in legislative requirements?
Yeah, certainly. So Oracle Global Payroll delivers the payroll, tax reporting, and the regulatory rules required to accurately process UK payroll and remain in compliance, all directly from within the cloud HCM system of record. We have a team of highly skilled analysts at Oracle that are all around the world, and they're constantly monitoring the legislative changes, put my teeth in, which empowers Oracle to deliver and push those updates to our customers for the payroll solution.
One of the other questions is around rostering. So obviously within the hospitality industry, rostering is a very important factor. So how can the system handle obviously the different, I guess, assignments that people could have within hospitality, and how can it do that, if that's even possible?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. Thank you. Oracle have recently released a workforce scheduling and workforce labour optimization solution, which is part of the Oracle Cloud HCM suite. So that enables industries such as retail and hospitality to balance those business needs, compliance, and the employee experience. Managers can get real-time visibility into the workforce data to match best fit workers with needs of the business, so peak shift hours and things like that. It can easily adapt to changes and fill open shifts using the information that it's held. Obviously, with things like any specific shifts that require a skill, then using that information that we capture in HCM, we can match employees to shifts based on availability and competency to do those roles. So new functionality that is being rolled out to companies at the moment, lots of investment going into developing that product as well. So yes, watch this space for more on the workforce scheduling options specifically for hospitality.
But I think there as well, Amy, it's important, isn't it, to understand that those new functionalities that Oracle bring just adds extra to what's already there in the system. So that underlying reporting analytics layer of somebody's personal details, HCM details, so their pay, their skills, competencies, is now just being supplemented with that resourcing to give such a rich picture of data analytics as well in Oracle.
Yeah, it's a really good point. Thanks, Pete.
And then another question is, so a project like this, obviously, so whether you're implementing the whole of HCM or just changing some elements of your HCM system, that is a big project for any organization. What challenges do you guys see or specific challenges do you see from a hospitality perspective, in that, for example, hospitality is very time poor and resource poor. I mean, everybody has a day job that can change, as Pete said earlier, from one day to the next.
Pete, do you want to take that one first?
I can. I think to begin with, it starts with the vision for change, or the scope of change from the industry. So signing up that the change is required and setting out a vision and a case for change is really important. That means that you can always come back to the reason why that change is being brought in, and to just stay on scope to do so. In projects that I've worked on, it's really important to backfill, so that the project team have the time and space to be able to not only make decisions, but Sam, as you said, around the time poor, resource poor, it's making sure that that team can reach out, whether it's through a change champion network or through a change agent network. People around the industry might not have the direct impact or the direct input to the project, but hearing their voice and making sure that they are part of the journey, even when clients and industries are time and resource poor, and everybody is focused on delivery, there is a really importance there to make sure that people are taken on the journey to deliver the project. And I suppose that I've come from the change challenges and setting up the requirement to begin with, but anything you'd like to add there, Amy, around challenges Oracle?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, thanks, Pete. I think tools like Oracle Guided Learning are excellent for helping industries such as retail in managing these type of changes, where the a large proportion of the workforce are not sat in front of a computer, or they're not sat in an office together. There's lots of different shift patterns and things like that. So communicating that change at a time that is relevant for those individuals is key. So tools like Oracle Guided Learning, that we saw a snippet of it today, helps in respect of guiding somebody through a process. But actually, it's a really great change management enablement tool that supports the business in being able to provide messaging to individuals through that mobile device. So I think, utilizing the Oracle products to help manage the change and to communicate the benefits of the change to those employee groups at the right time for them is key in respect of getting that message across and getting the buy-in of the employees to the change, to support with that.
And I'm just going to quickly tweak that question back to whoever asked it on the chat, just to make a challenge a benefit. So the connections functionality that Amy showed, the hospitality industry is normally geographically widespread. Chains of hotels, etc., could be across a country and across the globe. Being able to see people that are like you or have the same interests as you, and to be able to connect with them through the connections part of Oracle, really helps to deliver not only a local culture of the business, but also a global culture by connecting people, which it's a challenge because it may be information that's never been seen before, but it's a real opportunity and benefit that can unlock some really good things in the hospitality industry of people who are widespread. They do hold a common goal to deliver service for their customers, And it's really good that they can look at that through the connections part of Oracle.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Sam?
Just one final question. I think this might have been answered, but again, maybe we can just do it in a concise way. Earlier on in the webinar, you showed like a dashboard, an analytics dashboard, and the question is that kind of level of analytics available to everybody through Oracle, or is that literally just a director level piece of functionality?
Yeah, it's a great question, isn't it? Because, you know, from organizations that are coming from maybe an on-premise background or multiple solution backgrounds, actually managing that analytics is quite challenging, and therefore only a small population of people get access to it. The beauty of the all-in-one solution with Oracle Cloud HCM is that actually access to analytics and any area of the solution really is controlled with what we call role-based access controls. So you can determine who can access what. So in the demonstration today, that dashboard was actually a retail manager accessing the analytics dashboard. So you could have that information presented to your managers, to HR, to your regional managers and area managers, etc. Whomever needs to have that cut and slice of data, you can control that through the analytics, through the role-based access. And obviously the access to everything that we've shown you today, whether that be on the desktop or on the mobile, it is device agnostic. So you can see that information on whichever device you're using at any given time. Because even we know, you know, area managers, etc., aren't always sat behind a computer. They're out visiting sites, and so they might need that information on their mobile as well.
And I think that's quite key to a big thing around businesses at the moment is data-driven insights. So decision making should be driven by the data that people can see, but making sure and having the confidence that the data is only available to who should see it is really, really good. But it can also drive your self-service and employee self-service adoption. So if somebody can have an analytics, and people watch this back, they'll see some what are called infolets on the bottom that drive data for people to see that actually 3 of my team are off, so I'm not going to get that leave. The question it just manages expectations of people. So it's right from strategic, as the question was around directors, but it can be used at every single level to unlock so much in the business as well.
Yeah, that's a great point. Thanks, Pete.
That's great.
Any more questions, Sam, or are we?
No, that was the last question.
Excellent. Brilliant questions. Thank you for those that put those into the chat. It's always good to have some questions. It keeps myself and Amy on our toes to have a think on the spot to answer those, but also just ensures that we can answer how Oracle and how can fit the sector, and also what we've seen previously. So that wraps up our webinar. As Amy said, there is a QR code. Please scan it if you want any more information. There is the Oracle invite down to Reading. So please get in touch. That invite is there. And thank you for joining us today for the webinar. And if you're watching this back on recording, feel free to go backwards, forwards, and get exactly what you need out of the webinar. And we'll see you soon on the next one. Thanks, Amy. It's been good.
Thanks, Sam. Bye.
Thanks, Sam.